Hello, computer hardware students. The purpose of this video is to discuss the relationship between memory and the processor, because we're coming into a module now that does focus on where these two intersect. And what I want to talk about is the nature of memory, because there are two types of memory. They are volatile and non-volatile memory. So they're different types of storage, basically. Storage is what we're talking about here. And your long-term storage, or your non-volatile memory, is your hard drive. And that's what that's supposed to be. With your platters. And so that is non-volatile. That means that when the power goes out, it should technically all still be there. And then you have your RAM, random access memory. We get two little DIMMs in here because we like to pair them. Sometimes you can have three. As long as they're all the same, you can do that. And your random access memory, which is your hard drive, is volatile storage. Which means that when the power goes out, technically everything that's in there disappears. So now you might be asking yourself, what about VRAM? Right? What about that little bit of the hard drive that we use to confuse the system and make it think that it's RAM? Is it volatile or is it non-volatile? Because on the hard drive, you'd think it might be non-volatile, but it is still volatile. There is a lot of work being done in this space, however, to try to get the performance of the non-volatile storage to be as fast as the volatile storage. So that's the beauty of the volatile storage, which is your random access memory. And your random access memory is your workspace. It's where the CPU goes to get the work that it needs to work on. Now, there's cache. There's cache memory, which is really fast, and it tends to be on the die, maybe even of the CPU. There's different layers of it. And the layer of the cache tells you how close that little fast storage spot is to the CPU. It can be practically in it, like on the die or right next to it. And then you also have your chipset. And your chipset, well, that's going to have your memory controller likely in it. It's going to have your PCI Express controller. It's going to have a SATA controller, a USB controller. And there's actually a north and a south node to these. And this is for the fast. The fast goes out at the north, and the slow used to go out the south. And now a lot of that is actually right there on the CPU. So things have changed a little bit there. But basically, you've got a front side bus here. And that controls access from the CPU to your memory controller, which deals with this, and your RAM gets it from the hard drive. So you got a lot of swapping. And the bigger your RAM storage, the less swapping, the less you have to go back. This is slow. The less you have to go back to the hard drive to get what you need to do the work, which is what the CPU does. So I hope this general overview of how these players work together to create the workspace and actually the speed as well of what you're going to experience in your computer. All of these factors matter. So I hope this helps bring what you're learning together into a bigger picture, cohesive way of looking at it.